Good morning, good afternoon, at good evening sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the part 2 of our subject question document examination, Q&A with rationalization. Okay? So to start with, ito po yung unang katanungan. Why is higher magnification not always suitable for handwriting examination? So why is higher magnification is not always suitable for handwriting examination? Letter A, it reduces lighting on the document. B, cannot capture fine details. C, decrease resolution. And delta, narrows the field of vision. Okay, so ano ba yung gamit po ng microscope is to enlarge using a higher magnification, pero hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay suitable sa handwriting examination ng mas mataas na magnification. Bakit? It narrows the field of vision. Siyempre may portion lamang na makikita doon sa microscope kapag ka po mas mataas or mataas masyado na ang ginamit na magnification. Okay? Yan. So, kung makikita natin yung actual size is magnified one time, or one times. So, ang nangyayari diyan ay may or buo na makikita natin yung part ng lapis, Pero kapag tumataas na yung magnification na ginagamit, may portion na hindi po nakikita. Ganon din po sa pag-examine ng signature. For example, kung ang actual na signature ay napakahaba, so makikita pagka mas mababa yung ginamit na magnification, then habang tumataas yung magnification, may portion na lamang na makikita doon sa microscope. So ibig sabihin hindi nakita yung buong signature on or handwriting. All right? Next question. What equipment is best for examining indentations in documents? So what equipment is best for examining indentation in documents? Letter A, transmitted light equipment. Letter B, magnifying lens. Letter C, ultraviolet light. And delta is camera. Okay? So kung andyan sana yung ESDA or electrostatic detection apparatus, that is the best equipment that is used to check indentation. Pero dahil wala, based sa choices, ang pinaka-best na pwedeng gamitin dyan ay yung pong transmitted light equipment. Okay? So the transmitted light highlights the indentation by emphasizing the difference doon sa paper thickness. Siyempre, mas thinner doon sa area kung saan mas malakas yung pressure na ginamit. Next question, how does transmitted light equipment differ from others? Letter A, it is used to examine burned documents. Letter B, it reduces lighting on the document. Letter C, magnifies the document. And delta, used to examine indentation. Now, as we have discussed earlier, the use of transmitted light equipment is used to examine the indentation. Sa alpha, yung ginagamit para ma-examine ang burn document ay infrared lighting, Yan, infrared lighting. Pagka naman microscope, ayan, it is used to magnify the document, to enlarge yung pong mga small details sa handwriting. Pwedeng magnifying lens. Kung gusto mo na mas mataas ang magnification, microscope, syempre, yung stereoscopic microscope. Next question. What examination should be applied for charred documents? So what examination should be applied on charred documents? Letter A, ultraviolet. Letter B, microscopic. Letter C, infrared light. And delta, transmitted light. So anong ginagamit para examine ang mga charred documents? So yung mga document na overexposed sa init, So that is infrared light, So infrared light can reveal faded writing on charred documents without further damage. Tapos kapag ka po nailawan through infrared light, then you may photograph, no? Or you can photograph to preserve, no? Yung pong details na inyong nakita. Ayan, no? Next question, why are UV and IR or ultraviolet and infrared light is ideal for initial document examination, no? Letter A, non-destructive methods for hidden information. Letter B, provide the highest resolution images. Charlie worked on all inks and papers equally. Delta, it eliminate the need for further examination. So bakit nga ba magandang gamitin ang ultraviolet light at saka infrared rather than using chemicals? Yeah. So why? Because these are non-destructive methods for hidden information. Kasi kung na-reveal na yung pong mga obliterated writings, yung faded writings sa chart documents, then pag na-reveal, then you can photograph it using the camera, no? So, ginagamit ang UV at IR para maging visible yung mga hidden writings, di ba? So, yun ang gamit ng ultraviolet para makita yung mga uh, hidden writings o yung ink. Yan. Ganon din yung IR or infrared ginagamit sa chart documents. Alright? Next, which tool differentiate ink types without altering the document? So which tool differentiates ink types without altering a document? Letter A, camera. Letter B, ultraviolet light. Letter C, measure plates. And delta is transmitted light box. Okay, saan ba yung pwede nyong gamitin in order to different yung ink types, no? Without altering the document, that is the ultraviolet light. So po pwedeng makita na kung magkaibang ink yung pong ginamit. Okay? So ginagamit din yan para ma-detect kung yung pera ay genuine, no? Kasi kung ginamitan ng ultraviolet light, yung iba't ibang ink ay magpapakita ng iba't ibang fluorescence. So ang ino-observe kapag gumamit ng ultraviolet light is the fluorescence that could be produced by the ink. No? So iba't ibang ink, syempre magkakaiba ang reaction sa ultraviolet light. So camera, as we have stated, it is used for documentation of what you have examined. Since pag na-reveal na lang ultraviolet light yan, hindi naman po pwedeng hanggang doon na lang. Kailangan na i-document mo through the use of camera. No? So yung measuring plates naman ay ginagamit para makita yung pong distance ng letters, yan. Distance ng isang word sa another word, yung line spacing na tinatawag, word spacing, letter spaces, yan. Yung protractor naman, ang ginagamit naman, yung specific na ginagamit para makita naman yung slope or slant. Yan. So, yan yung ginagamit para makita kung yung slant mo ay horizontal, okay, slant to the right, o kaya naman ay slant to the left. Ganon. Okay? So, yun yung ginagamit yung sa protractor para makita yung slope o kaya naman po ay slant. No? Okay, so pagka-distance ng words, letters, line spaces, no, word spaces, no, letter spaces, measure plate naman ang ginagamit. Okay, pag indentation, then you can use the transmitted light box in the absence of electrostatic detection apparatus. Yan. So UV light identify inks, fluorescence, and absorption difference. So, ibig sabihin, iba't ibang ink, magkakaiba po ang absorption pagka ginamitan ng ultraviolet light. So, magkakaiba yung kanyang fluorescence or yung ningning, yan, or yung ink fluorescence. Alright? So, sa pera, ginagamit ang ultraviolet para makita yung mga specific na part ng pera tulad ng sa 500, ano, makikita niyo doon yung ibon. Ayan. So iba yung kanyang kulay na ipo-project, mga kaibigan, no? So makikita rin doon yung security fibers. Ayan. So, iba't ibang ink na ginamit, iba't iba yung reaction doon po sa ultraviolet light. At ang ino-observe nga sa amin nga natin ay yung fluorescence. Okay, yung ningning niya ay magkakaiba. And because of that, you can determine whether the ink that was used is same or not. Next question. What is the significance or significant use of photography in question document examination? What is the significant use of photography in question document examination? Letter A, detecting alterations in a document. Letter B, recording and presenting evidence. Letter C, magnifying the question document. Or delta is examining paper used by forgers. So the very important use of photography, as we have stated earlier, is to record kung ano man yung in-examine. Siyempre, i-preserve or i-record niya. And what was recorded through the use of photography can be used for presentation in court. Since sabi ko nga, pag ginamitan mo ng ultraviolet light, transmitted light, hindi naman po pwede na yun na yung i-present sa korte. Kailangan na pagka po na-reveal yung pong specific characteristics, kailangan na i-photograph mo para ma-record po yun at yun ang kailangan mong i-present sa korte. No? So photography is used for recording and preserving the evidence so that it will be presented in court. All right. Next question. How is unsigned business contract classified? No? How will you classify yung mga business contract na hindi pa uh, pirmado or hindi pa napipirmahan? Letter A, private document. B, electronic document. Charlie is public document. And Delta is commercial document. So the answer for this question is alpha, no? Private document. So the document is not yet notarized or publicly acknowledged, therefore it is still classified as a private document. However, once that it will be signed and it will be notarized by a notary public, then nagiging public document, syempre, no? Pagka po nasa digital platform, electronic document, no? Kapag ka naman po notarized by notary public, uh, that is public document. Notarized notary public or authorized individuals. Then commercial, lahat ng document na may kinalaman sa Code of Commerce or Mercantile Law. All right. Next question. What is the primary characteristics of a document? What is the primary characteristics of a document? Letter A, it contains written agreements. Letter B, always printed or engraved. Letter C, must be handwritten or typewritten. Or delta, it contains marks, symbols, or signs conveying meaning. No? So kapag general definition ng document, no, anything that contain marks, symbols, or sign that convey a meaning to someone is considered as a document, no? So may tatlong element po ang document. Siyempre, meron pong tinatawag na writing instrument or yung tinatawag na panulat. Ayan. May ginamit na panulat, siyempre. Yung tinatawag na writing materials o yung sinulatan, okay, at syempre yung mismong writings, okay, na ginagamit for communication. So yung writings at syempre para maging visible yan ay meron pong ink na ginagamit. So yan yung element ng document. So sa modern kasi ink na yung ginagamit. Pero noon, yung isinusulat sa bato, ganon, wala namang ink. Pero sa modern, meron na pong ginagamit na ink para maging visible yung sulat. No? So may tatlong elements po ng document. We have the writing instrument, writing materials or writing or sa modern para maging visible nga yung sinusulat, that is ink. Okay, so yan yung tatlong ginagamit in order to make mark, symbol, or sign that will convey a meaning to someone. So yan yung general definition ng document. Pero legally speaking, meron pong tatlong klase ng or lima na klase ng document, ano, as we have discussed in the previous slide, yung private, public, official, electronic, at saka po yung commercial document. Yun yung tatlong klase ng dokumento. All right. Next question, which is not an example of a question document. So letter A, election ballots. Letter B, holographic wills. Letter C, marriage contracts. And Delta, unused blank paper. So saan ba dyan ang hindi pwedeng ma-question, no? Hindi po pwedeng magkaroon ng question. Eh, syempre, yung sabi nga natin kanina, kailangan para maging dokumento, dapat may symbol, may writings, no? So, based from that, the letter which not constitute to a questionable document or hindi posibleng maging questionable ay yung unused blank paper. Walang nakasulat paano maging questionable document, no? Yan. So when we say question document, these are those which is disputed or is under controversy because of the authenticity or content which does not apply doon sa unused blank paper since wala nang nakasulat doon. So election ballot, possible na maging questionable yan. Holographic wills, yan po yung pamana, di ba? So pwedeng ma-questionaran po yan. Ganon din yung marriage contract. Next question. Which method confirms a natural pen leaf in a forged signature? So which method confirms a natural pen leaves in a forged signature? Letter A, infrared examination. Bravo, microscopic examination. Charlie, oblique light examination. And Delta is transmitted light examination. So kung ikaw ang mag-i-examine, saan dyan ang pwede mong gamitin na klase ng examination para po makita mo yung unnatural pen leaf at yun ay makikita lamang doon sa handwriting. No, at syempre, dahil medyo maliit yung pong dinaanan ng ballpen, no, especially gusto mong tingnan yung pen leaf, no, yung area kung saan inangat yung ballpen, nagkaroon ng terminal stroke at or in between ng terminal at saka po yung initial stroke. So parang ganito mga kaibigan, no, yung tinatawag natin na pen leaf. Ito yung area na tinatawag na nagkaroon ka ng terminal stroke, no, yung ending. Tapos hanggang doon sa ikaw ay umpisa ulit sa susunod na letra. So ito naman yung initial stroke. Yung in between niyan, ang tawag natin ay pen lifting, no? So ano ang pwede nyong gamitin para makita further, that is through microscope. So ang pwedeng gamitin ay microscopic examination para ma-enlarge yung mga maliliit na gusto mong i-examine. Okay? Ayan. So actually, ang oblique light, no, tsaka transmitted light ay klase lamang ng pagposisyon sa ilaw yan, no? Yan. So meron tayong overhead. Okay? So kung yung ilaw po, yung questionableng dokumento ay nasa ilalim, then kung yung ilaw po ninyo ay sa taas, ang tawag natin dyan ay overhead, no? Overhead po ito or ito yung standard lighting. Kapag ka naman low angle, ganyan, yan ang tinatawag po natin na oblique light. Pagka sa ilalim naman, yung ilaw, no? Yan, so ang ginagamit diyan ay yan yung switch niya. So yan yung transmitted light. So yung transmitted light, oblique light, ay actually ay klase ng pagposisyon sa ilaw lamang yung mga yan. Okay? So, pagka oblique light, low angle. Pagka naman overhead, yan yung usual or standard lighting sa taas yung ilaw. Tapos ito yung transmitted light, oblique light, no, when the light is put in a very low angle, no, and ito naman yung overhead or standard lighting. So those are types of lighting, no, na ina-apply sa examination. Yung infrared naman, X-ray, infrared, no, ultraviolet, at saka yung visible light, yun yung mga types of light naman. Next question. What is a microscopic examination and question document? No? What is microscopic examination in question the document? Okay, so letter A, observing document under natural light. Letter B, viewing document with transmitted light. Letter C, enhancing document with the chemicals. And delta, detecting small details like erasures and pen lifting. No? So, sabi nga natin, ang microscopic examination, it is used in order to enlarge, no, yung mga maliliit na detalye. Okay? So, the answer for this question is delta. Microscopic examination is used to detect small details like erasures and pen lifting, no? Or yung kung gusto nyong i-examine yung mga different stroke characteristics, no, tulad ng hiatus, pen jump, gano'n, no, uh, retracing, yung patching or retouching, yun yung mga tinitingnan through the use of microscope. Yung mga maliliit, eh sabi nga natin, ang gamit ng microscope is to enlarge, no? So kung maliliit ang i-examine, abay, kailangang applyan ng microscopic examination. Okay? Pag observing document under natural light using your unaided eye, 1 hanggang 200, 1 out of 100, 1 over 250 of an inch lang ang kayang i-observe ng ating mata, no? So kung mas maliit na doon ay kailangan ng gumamit ng magnification. At yun na papasok yung magnifying lens, no? Kung mas gusto mo ng higher magnification, yun na po yung microscope. Pag dalawa naman, edi yung comparison microscope naman. Alright? Ganon. So kung gusto nyong tingnan naman yung indentation, kung meron, pwede nyong gamitan ng transmitted light para makita yung thickness or yung oblique light, pwede rin naman. No? Ganon. So chemical examination ay huling klase ng examination po kasi na ginagamit. Kaya nga sa examination of document, actually ang klase ng examination, tatlo lang yan. No? Meron kayo tinatawag na physical examination. Ito yung examination in which it is considered non-destructive. Yan. Yung titingnan mo lang kung yung document or yung nasa request letter ay parehas doon sa mga attachment, no? Nung request letter, no? Nung nagre-request. Then, pangalawa, microscopic kapag meron kang i-enlarge, microscopic examination, no? At yung pangatlong klase ng examination, chemical examination. So these are the three uh, broad type of examination na ginagamit sa question document. Kasi yung mga light types of ko na yan, yung types of light na ginagamit sa examination, no, at saka yung positioning of light lang naman po yung mga transmitted light, oblique light, at saka standard lighting, no? Yan. Ibig sabihin, kung gagamit ka ng microscope, ay gagamit ka pa rin ng ilaw doon. Kasi nga hindi ka pwedeng mag-examine na walang ilaw. Siyempre, pag madilim, hindi mo makikita. Yan. So, even if you will enlarge the document, you still need a light, of course. At yung positioning niya, yun yung standard, oblique, o kaya naman po ay transmitted. Ganun. So, yun po yung gamit ng microscope to enlarge small details para makita yung mga maliliit. Next question. What does ultraviolet examination do? Ano ba ang ginagawa ng ultraviolet? Okay, ano ba yung kaya niyang gawin? Letter A, it causes substances to fluoresce. Letter B, penetrates document layers. Letter C, burns away false entries. And delta, reveals hidden text with a visible light. Okay, so ano nga ba ang ginagawa ng ultraviolet? It causes substances to fluoresce. Magkakaroon po ng pagkintab or makikita po yung fluorescence na tinatawag natin, no? At yun nga yung iba't ibang bagay ay iba't iba rin yung reaction sa ultraviolet, especially doon sa kanyang fluorescence na tinatawag po natin. All right? Next question, why is photographic examination essential or important in question document examination? Letter A, it creates a permanent record of observation. Letter B, illuminates document from behind. Letter C, measures paper thickness. And delta, uses ultraviolet rays to detect forgeries. So the answer is very obvious. The answer is alpha. No? It creates a permanent record of the observation, which will be later on presented in court. All right, next question. What feature of adding machine is analyzed for origin? Ano nga ba yung feature ng adding machines na ina-analyze para makita kung saan nag-originate yung isang questionable document? Letter A, ink thickness. Letter B, typewriter case shape. Letter C, ribbon alignment. And delta, numeral spacing and design. Okay? So, ang adding machine, no, ay meron po kasing unique numeral design that helps adding machines to trace kung saan po ito galing. No? So, ang ini-examine or ina-analyze sa documents which is produced by adding machines is the numeral spacing and the design of the numbers put in the adding machines. All right. Next question. What is the maximum diameter of handles used by bank personnel? So 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. So yung maximum, syempre, medyo maliliit lang yung ginagamit para hindi gaanong bulky. So maximum of 4 inches. No? So hand lenses for bank use are typically small and portable. And because of that, they only use a type of magnifying lens with a maximum of 4 inches. Next question. Which tool detects uneven ink distribution? Okay. Which tool can be used to detect uneven ink distribution? Letter A, infrared viewer. Letter B, ultraviolet lamp. And letter C, electrostatic detection apparatus. And delta is stereoscopic binocular microscope. No? So, maliit ba ang tinitingnan? Ayan, di ba? Kung maliit, sabi nga natin kanina, okay, kung maliit, ang gagamitin natin ay microscope. No? Pagka naman indentation, syempre yung ESDA ang pinakamagandang ginagamit. Okay? So pagkakailangan naman na i-identify mo kung parehas yung ink na ginamit, then ultraviolet. Pagka mga chart documents naman, infrared viewer. So the tool that can you use, okay, or that can be used to detect an even ink distribution, especially kung gusto nyo tingnan yung pen emphasis, pen pressure, ganun, pen leaf, that is the stereoscopic binocular microscope. Ayan, it is used to detect uneven ink distribution. Okay? Yan. So, microscope reveal ink irregularities at higher magnification. Okay, makikita pa nga sa microscope kung merong patching or retouching. Next question. What tool identifies overlapping lines in a document? Overlapping yung lines niya, no? Yun yung tinatawag nila na splicing, no? Letter A, shadow graph. Letter B, magnifying lens. Letter C, transmitted light gadget. And delta, stereoscopic binocular microscope. At dahil yan, ang overlapping lines ay maliit pa rin, no? So, parang ganito kasi yan. Ay kung makikita sa microscope, kung tumigil ka sa pagsulat tapos yan ay pinagdugtong mo ulit, magkakaroon po ng slight overlapping, no? So makikita yan through the use of stereoscopic binocular microscope pa rin, no? So the microscope provides depth perception kasi nga may enlarge yung document and it can be used to analyze overlapping lines. All right. Next question, what tool detects security features in the counterfeit currency? No? Letter A, ultraviolet lamp. Letter B, comparison microscope. Letter C, electrostatic detection apparatus. And delta, table lamp with adjustable shades. So, ang ginagamit para ma-detect, syempre, yung security features ng counterfeit currency ay yung pong ultraviolet lamp. So, madalas naman natin na nakikita yan para makita po yung mga security features like security fibers, no, security thread, okay? Yung hidden value doon sa pera, yung ginagamit diyan ay ultraviolet lamp. It will reveal the embedded security features like the fluorescence. All right. Next question. Charred writing can be deciphered through blank. Charred writing can be deciphered through blank. Letter A, infrared viewer. Letter B, transmitted light gadget. Letter C, video, spectral comparator, and delta electrostatic detection apparatus. Okay? So, ang ginagamit nga, charred, no? Sabi natin, or yun yung nangitim o kaya yung faded na yung writing niya dahil na-expose sa too much sunlight. Then ang pwedeng gamitin ay yung pong video spectral comparator. Okay? So ang video spectral comparator ay meron po kasi siyang infrared light na naka-embed doon, no? So it is a equipment with a infrared light, no? Which enhances faded writing without damaging the document. Okay? Yan. So tandaan po natin ha, ang video spectral ay meron naka-embed na or may nakalagay na infrared light doon. Okay? And it can enhance the faded writing without damaging the document. All right? Yan. Pero kung wala dyan, syempre pwede yung infrared instrument or infrared viewer. All right? Next question, what to do if 2 times magnification is insufficient for document analysis? So what to do if 2 times magnification is insufficient, no? Hindi sapat for document analysis. Letter A, adjust the lighting. Letter B, work in a dark room. Letter C, use a stereoscopic binocular microscope. Or delta, switch to 5 times magnifying lens. So, syempre, kung hindi po pwede ang mas mababang magnification, ano po ba ang gagamitin? So, kung 2 times magnification, edi magnifying lens. So, hindi sapat. So, gagamit ka ngayon ng stereoscopic binocular microscope kung gusto mo ng mas mataas na magnifying power. Alright? So, yun po yung gagawin. Siyempre, kung hindi sapat, gamit yung magnifying lens, you can shift to stereoscopic binocular microscope. Okay? Para ma-examine. Pero kung dalawa na may questionable, sabing ganon, tapos may standard, siyempre, comparison na po ang gagamitin to compare. Okay, next question. What feature of electrostatic detection apparatus aids analysis? No? So ano nga ba yung feature ng ESDA or electrostatic detection apparatus? Letter A, fluorescence detection. Letter B, magnifying small details. Letter C, casting light from behind. Or delta, records and enhanced indentation. So the ESDA, sabi nga natin, the ESDA apparatus visualize faint impression on paper surfaces, no? So ang light na naka-embed naman dito ay transmitted light. So that is delta. Okay, so electrostatic detection apparatus can be used to visualize faint impression on paper surfaces. So it is used to detect and enhance indentation. Next question, what tool examines embossing features in a document? What tool examines or can be used to examine embossing feature in a document? Letter A, video spectral comparator. Letter B, ultraviolet lamp. Letter C, shadow graph. And delta is camera. No? So, ang ginagamit para makita yung mga emboss, yung mga nakaumbok or mas mataas na parte ng document is called shadow graph. So the shadow graph highlights raised features like emboss features doon sa mga dokumento. All right? Next question. Transparent light or transparent glass is used for blank. So, transparent glass. Saan ba ginagamit ang transparent glass sa question document examination? Letter A, used for signature and typewriting examination. Letter B, magnifying documents. Hindi naman magnifying lens. Ano? Enhance ink fluorescence, ultraviolet yan. Detect counterfeit bills, ultraviolet din. So saan ang ginagamit ang transparent glass? It is used for signature and typewriting examination. Ano? So glass measures assist in precise analysis of the alignment and proportion of letters. No? Ano pa, ginagamit din ang transparent glass with measurement doon po sa pag tingin ng slant. Yan, yung ginagamit actually na pang-measure sa document is transparent glass na may mga measurement na nakalagay doon. No? Kahit yung reticule or graticule na nakalagay doon sa microscope. Yan. So, transparent glass din yon syempre. Yung ginagamit na pang-measure ng letter spaces, no? Word spaces, line spaces is also a transparent glass measurement. Okay? Or measuring tool. Next, which microscope allows side-by-side comparison? Which microscope allows side-by-side comparison? Stereoscopic binocular microscope. Letter B, comparison microscope. Letter C, ultraviolet microscope. And delta infrared viewer. No? So, kapag kadalawa na ang i-examine nyo, may questionable, tapos may standard, and you need to examine it simultaneous or sabay. So, syempre, ilalagay nyo doon sa magkabilang side, no? At the same time, at the same level, using same magnification, at same position. At ang tawag sa position na yon ay collation. Or sa ballistics, ang tawag ay juxtaposition, no? Yung side-by-side comparison na yan. Hindi pwedeng top at bottom. Side by side. Okay? So, kung side-by-side yan, so dalawa, syempre, ibig sabihin, dalawa din po yung lente nito. Okay? Hindi lang po yung silipan ang dalawa, kundi yung lens nito, pang view ay dalawa rin. So, ang ginagamit dyan no, ay dalawang microscope which is combined by a bridge. At ang tawag natin sa microscope na yan ay comparison microscope. No? So comparison microscope is one of the most important instrument that is used in question document examination, especially in signature analysis. Okay? Sa alteration kasi pwede sa stereoscopic binocular kasi nga yung pag-alteration, hindi mo naman kailangan na po ng kandon sa erasure, alteration, ganun. Hindi naman kailangan po ng standard. Pero lahat ng mga questionable document in which you need to compare two specimen. Ano yung dalawang specimen? Yung question document, okay, at saka yung exemplar or yung standard specimen ay kailangan pong gumamit ng tinatawag na comparison microscope. At tandaan, pagka gumamit ng comparison microscope, ang tawag sa side-by-side position ng document ay collation or tinatawag din siyang juxtaposition. Okay? Pero yung juxta kasi usually used in forensic ballistics yung term. All right. Next question, what tools prioritize invisible physical evidence analysis? So what tools prioritize invisible physical evidence analysis? Letter A, microscope. Letter B, light sources. Letter C, photography and delta measuring tools. No? So kapag ka hindi kita gamit ang hubad na mata, sabi nga natin, it cannot be examined through the use of naked eye. So ano ang gagamitin po natin sa mga invisible using physical evidence analysis or using your naked eye? So you need to use microscope, no? Because microscope can reveal hidden details, especially yung mga minute or mga maliliit na alterations. All right? And next question. Why measure model signature parts in trace forgeries? Why measure model signatures parts in trace forgeries? Letter A, examine the writing style. Letter B, determine document age. Letter C, verify materials. Or delta, identify the size, proportion, and position. So ano nga ba ang gamit ng pag-measure sa signatures, no? Especially sa trace forgery. No, tandaan po natin no one can produce exact the same signature, no? Yung parehas na parehas lahat ng sukat. Kaya nga kapag ka magkasukat lahat ng parts ng signature ay alam mo na isa doon ay peke because we cannot duplicate our own signature precisely, no? Yung mga individual characteristics parehas pero yung mga sukat nito ay hindi po parehas. So the measurement or the reason why the model signature is part in trace forgeries kasi kung parehas yung sukat, definitely one of them are fake, no? Yan. Kasi ang usual na difference kasi ng signature mo, kahit mag-signature po tayo ng 1,000 beses, ang pinaka-common na difference ay yung pong mga sukat nito. Yan. At yung pagsukat ng pong mga handwriting, ang tawag po natin doon ay graphometry, no? So if you will use the transparent glass measuring tools, yan, ang tawag sa ginagawa mong pag-analyze ay graphometry ang tawag po natin. Graphometry is the analysis of handwriting through the use of measurement, no, to identify yung size and proportion, yung slant or slope, letter spaces. Yan. At sabi nga ni father of question document examination na si Albert Osborne, no, through the use of measurement, you can examine na 80% of questionable document. Sabi nga niya, no, si Albert Osborne. At yun nga ay graphometry. Kapag ka naman po i-analyze mo yung pong document based on the two-stroke characteristics, no? Ang tawag naman po natin doon ay grapho analysis. Yan, grapho analysis. Pagka naman i-examine po natin yung pong behavior ng tao base sa handwriting niya, behavior, no? That is graphology. Pero kapag pag-aaralan natin yung handwriting based on the two fundamental strokes, that is straight line and curved line, ang tawag natin doon ay grapho analysis. Okay? So, yan. So ang pag-measure ng model signature ay part ng tinatawag na graphometry, especially sa trace forgery. Dahil nga sa trace forgery, pinagpatong yung questionable at saka yung genuine. So ang gagawin mo, pwede mong pagpatungin, yun know, kaya sukat-sukatin, pag parehas lahat ng sukat, definitely one of them is a product of trace forgery, mga kaibigan. No? Now, next question. The typical magnification range for handheld magnifiers is what? No? So ano nga ba yung typical magnification range for handheld magnifiers? Letter A, 1 time to 5 times. Letter B, 2 times to 10 times. Letter C, 5 times to 20 times. Or delta is 10 times to 50 times. So the answer for this question is Bravo, no? The typical magnification range for handheld magnifiers is 2 times, maximum up to 10 times. So if you want a higher magnification, then you can use stereo binocular microscope or stereoscopic binocular microscope, no? Next question. Why start with a lower magnification for handwriting analysis, no? Bakit gagamit ka ng mas mababa munang magnification before you can go to higher magnification? Letter A, keep object in view. Letter B, enhance document lighting. Letter C, avoid damage. And delta to reduce eye strain, no? Para makita mo kung saang portion ng questionable signature on handwriting ang may defect, ay kailangan na mag-start ka muna sa lower magnification in order to keep the object in view first bago ka mag-magnify, no? Bago ka mag-focus doon sa specific portion na sa tingin mo ay questionable. So you need to start with a lower magnification before you will proceed to a higher magnification to keep the object in view. Tulad nga nung pinakita natin doon sa previous slide kanina na pagka po sobrang taas na ng magnification, hindi na kita lahat yung part ng signature o kaya yung part ng iyong ini-examine kasi nakafocus ka na doon sa specific portion of that questionable document. All right? Next question. What is the best tool to photograph a magnified image? So what is the best tool to photograph a magnified image? Letter A, handheld magnifier. Letter B, low power binocular magnifier. Letter C, stereo microscope with camera attachment. Letter D, traditional optical microscope. So, ang ginagamit in order to take photograph no, of magnified image, syempre, ma-magnify mo through the use of stereo microscope o kaya kung ginamit mo yung comparison, pwede rin yon. Tapos may naka-attach kasi na camera na doon, no? Sa comparison microscope. Yan. So, ganun din sa stereo microscope, pwedeng may naka-attach na rin na camera, especially sa mga bagong microscope po, no? May naka-attach na po na digital camera and you can use them to take photos after you have magnified yung image na ini-examine. Okay? So, dyan na po nagtatapos ang ating topic dito sa subject ng question document examination at sana ay meron po kayong natutunan. Just want to end this video by this quote. No? Question document teach us that even the smallest details can hold the biggest truths. Yan. Yung mga maliliit na detalye sa questionable document ay pwedeng gamitin para mailabas ang malalaking katotohanan. So maraming salamat sa inyong walang kawang pakikinig at panonood dito sa ating short video presentation at sana ay meron kang natutunan. Thank you and God bless.